Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a few insights with me, a few observations, and I have a few updates. I will start with the updates first. I have been thinking about what should I create content about. So I've tried out freelancing, I tried content creation, I try AI, and all of these things together is the direction that I want to go in, but I was not getting a clear understanding of where I should start with or what should I be focusing on one. And finally, I have that clarity. And that is actually talking about being a one-person creator and a one-person business. So I have been in business as a freelancer for the last 5 months. I started in August and I have started understanding what works for me, what doesn't work for me, what are the challenges, what are my strengths, etc. And what I'm realizing is that while I'm good at freelancing, building a team of full-time hires takes me far longer than I would actually imagine me to. Right. And the skill nourishment, everything takes a long time. So delivery takes a backseat, which is why I have decided to be a one person creator and only collaborate with subject matter experts for projects that might require extra help. So with that update, let's move on to the main topic of this video. Today's topic is why waiting for the perfect moment is keeping you stuck. As a freelancer, as a content creator, as somebody wanting to create content on social media. See, the most important thing that we all need to understand that we have only a few good years where we can make content, build leverage and build our business. That can be anywhere between 5 to 30 years. 30 years is if this is your entire work time, right? If this is the job you do, you get a good 30 years. So for people or kids or Gen Z who have just started working and who are doing this full time, they get a full 30 years. But for people like us who've worked in the corporate and for other people like you who are watching the video, if you are a corporate, if you are working, you would imagine you would only get maybe 5 to 6 years of full time that you can work on content creation or building something online. Which is the reason why I am telling that thinking about it, waiting for that perfect moment is keeping you stuck massively. Now let me talk about a few more points. I can start off with my own story. I have been wanting to do freelancing. I have been wanting to have my own business. I have been wanting to do all of this for the last 10 to 12 years. I started my first e-commerce site in 2013. 2014. So that is about 11, 12 years from now. But I have only got into doing this full time right now. The reason is because I always thought that when I have more money, when I have more resources, when I have more time, I will do it. Right? I have no regrets about the work that I have done in corporate because that has made me the person who I am. I have learned a lot. I have had great mentors on the way. I have had great people I have worked with. And that is sort of the base for my freelancing, right? That is where I'm getting network from. That is where I'm getting leads from, connections from, etc. So I don't have any regrets. But what if I'd started content creation very seriously and actively, right? Cumulatively across all my channels, maybe I have a follower of 10,000. If this was 50,000 or this was 100,000, I could use that leverage to a bigger extent. So that is why I say that waiting for that perfect moment is actually keeping us stuck. And we don't need to depend on a huge life event to happen for us to get started on content creation. And I am telling you, like Naval Ravikant says, there are four ways to build leverage. One is through people, which is when you have a business or when you're doing something, if you hire somebody, they help you scale up. It's the cheapest form of leverage. The second form of leverage is money. When you have more money, let's say you're starting to make money in your business, you can put it in tools, you can put it in other things that help you grow. The third thing is media, which is what we are trying to do, create content, get attention, make more money. And the last thing and the most or the highest in the ladder is code. If you're able to code, if you're able to build things, that becomes your sort of passive income and leverage, right? You can take things, if what are the products that you use, all of them could be on subscription model. I can think about ConvertKit, which is now Kit, and which is where I'm sending my emails from, right? So in those emails, the person, the creator of Kit is not actually doing much right now except ideating how to make it better, but they've built that, right? You could think about any other product or service like that which is subscription based. They are building that, they're leveraging that. right? So these are the four ways you can build your leverage. Leverage means amplifying your efforts. So if you put in 1 day of effort, and if you want to make 5,000 rupees, it's easy. 1 day gives you, per day, your cost can be 5,000. But if you want to put in 1 day of effort, want to make 1 lakh rupees, it's a little more difficult. If you put in 1 day and if you want to make 1 crore rupees, it's slightly more difficult. But it's not that difficult for somebody like a Mukesh Ambani or somebody like a Jeff Bezos, because they have already built so much network that even 1 day's difference can be in crores, millions, or billions. Right? So that is what I am trying to say, that we have to reach a point. Of course, only a few, like a very small percentage reaches that number, but reaching even like the 10th of what they are doing, the 100th of what they are doing, puts us in an extremely promising situation. The next thing is that we always keep saying that I will do this when this happens. What happens is that stars will never align for us. There will always be a situation. I thought that I will lose weight this year when these things happen, when I leave my job, etc. Now that I've left my job, I have no reason, right? But I've still not lost weight. Why? Because I have been waiting for something external to happen, like, for me to get more time, for me to, be able to take out 1 hour per day. And it's not like, people will tell, or, your work or business will tell you that, or your life will tell you that, hey, take 1 hour, do what you want. No, right? You have to be very, very strict while you're doing that. And that is what I am trying to do. These are my goals for 2025 as well, where I am trying to have a very dedicated work day, which will be 9 to 6. Even though I'm not doing a 9 to 6, I have to be sitting on my desk from 9 p.m. to 6, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Right? Because before that and after that, I want to have a life. I want to spend time with my family. I know it's extremely difficult and I would love to sit till 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night and work. But I have to be more efficient. That's how I have to build leverage. That if I want to do 5 days work, I don't want to work for 5 days. How can I work in 1.5 days and create content, or, create a product or a business for 5 days, right? I need to hire people first who can help me do that. Then I need to hire, have tools, invest in that. Then I have to build my presence on social media. Right, so I am slowly building all of that, and that is how I will conclude saying, procrastination is not just laziness, right? Procrastination also happens because of fear, and we keep getting stuck because we don't know that situation. So, for example, think about it in a very simple way. When you're cooking, also, right, you tend to go back to the things that you know. Why? Because it's in your muscle memory. You know how to make a dal or a chicken for, the Indian audience who's watching, or a veg curry or anything like that, because like you don't have to think about the masalas that you're putting. You don't have to think about it, right? You just keep putting. You're not measuring it. You're not doing it. But if you're creating something on your own or something new, you'll have to watch a YouTube video. You have to watch a few more videos. You have to see how it is done. You have to write it down. So that requires more time and effort. And our brain is inherently lazy. There are two parts of our brain. Read the book called Thinking Fast, Thinking Slow by Daniel Kahneman, which will give you this idea that there are two parts of our brain. It's called System 1 and System 2. I think System 1 and System 2 it's called, but basically 1 and 2 parts. The first one is the part where it thinks, it's creative, it puts in more effort. But in general, we do not try and use that brain so much, right? The other part is the brain which is used to doing automated tasks and does not need to think more. So most of our days and most of our lives, we tend to stick to brain 2, and the people who put in that effort and get out of their comfort zone and go into part 1 is where people start succeeding. I also was there. I also am there in like system 2 majorly, which is where I'm trying to create content, write, think more to get into system 1. So read more about it. You will know what I'm speaking about. With that, I will say that I've already said this, that there will never be like the right moment where you can focus on something. There will always be delays. There will always be challenges. But all I request from you in 2025 is start something. Start even for 5 minutes a day and start taking steps towards it. 99% of people in the world don't even try. They live a life that they have been given. Why not try and be in that 1%? Thank you so much for watching my video. If you liked my content, please subscribe to the content and tell me what are the things that you've enjoyed. What is the content that you want me to create more for you? I'm going to be doing research and creating content for you in that way.